Well, I said you can't make this RPG, but I lied and you can. It's more about who you are. We'll get to that later. Now, listen to the game's story first. Please, like to show your support, subscribe to prove it. I don't know where your fantasy begins, however, the only thing I need are cool high school teachers. So I chose one, turned him into the protagonist of my first game, and made him fight the others. But that was not enough. This time, I made him a knight. It all started when I saw my classmates playing Dungeons and Dragons, which made me think RPGs are kinda cool. And I'm a game dev, so what could I possibly have done? Also, at the time I played an amazing video game, Inscryption. In one act of the game, it turns into a pixel art top-down adventure with such beautiful stylization, I couldn't let go of it. Great inspiration. I started the pre-production phase by coming up with the key gameplay mechanics, namely movement and combat. You see, Inscryption has a card-based combat system, yet I wanted to create a movement-based one. And I didn't think I could build a fun role-playing game around a simple 4-direction combat with stabbing only. In my opinion, you can't really improve your skill in that, other than the timing. Here's what I came up with. You can walk in the main 8 directions. I haven't made any animations yet. I thought about them though, and the idea is that I will prepare them only for the 4 diagonal directions to save time. Where it gets interesting, and I'm kinda proud of my solution here, is the combat. The player can strike in any direction. Each weapon item has 2 strike classes in it, the soft strike and the hard strike. Each strike class has a ton of different parameters I can tweak to make completely different strikes. Those are, for example, damage dealt, strike range, strike speed, etc. The 2 most important are movement type and strike type. Movement defines if the player is gonna move in a straight line or jump, and strike type is the movement of the weapon's blade. For example, an Axe's soft strike is a precise jump with a good range but small damage radius and low damage dealt. Its hard strike is a spin around in place, good for killing multiple enemies. Here is some footage of other weapons. I can define all this just by checking some boxes. It brings a ton of variety into the game, and the player has to actually learn how to use the weapons. The only problem left are the animations. I believe they will be great, but I'll have to do a ton of them. I also want to expand the combat. Add a dodge move for the player, ranged weapons, throwable objects like Molotov cocktails, and effects for the weapons like poisoning, etc. So, movement and combat were the base of my game's development. As you already might have seen, after the concept phase, I continued with prototyping. I didn't make any images until the end of this demo's development, so that I wouldn't have to remake them later. Also, what I have to acknowledge is that I'm a poor artist, and that the outcome is far from what I wanted to achieve. I must finally learn how to do game art. Regarding other core mechanics, I came up with an inventory system and with a dialogue system, and also with some leveling, though I'm quite certain I'm not gonna keep them like this for the final version. So here's just a quick show off. How and why did I fail? Well, first of all, I had this game not only as my personal project, but also as my high school graduation one. That meant I was under high time pressure and couldn't deliver the product with everything I wanted to have included. Second of all, because of the time pressure, I didn't prepare the level design and story very well, which, as I later found out, was a crucial mistake. It cost me far more time and avoidable mistakes I could have foreseen had I prepared better. Third of all, I'm still just an intermediate programmer, which made my code badly structured and buggy. And, fourth of all, you've seen the looks of this game. I guess I don't have to explain this point at all. On the other hand, the project isn't a complete failure after all. As I said, it was my high school graduation project and it was both well received and rated. I gained a ton of experience both in design and in programming. And I have a demo on which I can base further development of the game. And there is something you can take from all that. If you want to make a 2D RPG, do it. I'd bet that 9 out of 10 who will try will also fail. But that failure means one thing only. You needed the experience this exact project gave me.